My name's Toney, and I'm not supposed to be here talking with you today. I was going to be a rock star. I started playing music when I was in high school, and from 2002 to 2009, I spent much of my time on the road in a band. We would travel around the Mid-South playing 150 shows a year in 6 different states, but then life happened. As they say, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. You see, my wife Jennifer and I decided to have children. I'm the father of 2 boys, Connor and Cruz, and at the age of 3, Connor was diagnosed with autism. At the time, I didn't know it, but that diagnosis would change my life forever, for the better. This was due in large part to Partners in Policymaking. Connor had a speech therapist named Joelle Farah. She suggested that I attend the 2012-2013 class of Partners in Policymaking. It turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life. So a couple visits later, and she says, you need to go to Partners in Policymaking, you need to be an advocate, and I thought, this lady's crazy, there's no way that I could do this, and here we are, and you are the reason why I do what I do.
You know what, Kodey, knowing you, I will take full responsibility for that.
I live in a small town in eastern Oklahoma called Panama. We have a population of around 1,400. We are a 2-hour drive from Tulsa and 3 hours away from Oklahoma City. So the resources available in the metropolitan areas are harder for us to access. When I graduated in May 2013, I had a plan and felt like I could take over the world as an advocate. The people you meet and the plans you make will give you a feeling of empowerment like no other. Networking is one of the most important things you can do during your time. Many of the friendships and mentorships that developed during that time have proven very valuable in my road to advocacy. The resources, networking opportunities, and knowledge will give you all the tools you need to make system changes regardless of where you live. My 5-year plan at the end of Partners was to create a resource center to help families like mine be better prepared to navigate the system. Thanks to my meeting Sharon Long with the Oklahoma Parent Center, my ideas came to life. I was talking with her at a conference around the same time, and she let me know about a grant I could apply for that would allow me to become a full-time advocate. Fast forward to the summer of 2017, when I'm sitting in Washington, D.C. in a room filled with thousands of advocates from all over the United States. I began thinking, what am I doing here? The short answer was what I had been taught to do, advocate. Partners in Policymaking had prepared me to not only network with advocates from across the nation, but also to share my ideas and speak up for families in Oklahoma and specifically rural areas. As I worked my way through Partners, I discovered many of these programs that I could take back to my area and utilize in rural Oklahoma. Thanks to the class, my wife and I were able to start a SIB shop in our area because I met Robin Boswell during a PIPS session one weekend. We later hosted several on-the-road programs thanks to our encounters with Center Success. I was able to help advocate for families during IEP meetings because I had the opportunity to meet Kayla Bauer, Joy Turner, and Roseanne Duplon through PIPS. In fact, we attended the Institute of Special Education Advocacy at William & Mary Law School. In 2016, thanks to help from another friendship with Partners grad, Joni Bruce, who I also met during class, I would go to these conferences and I would meet people like Joni and Sharon Long and whoever, and I would just absorb everything I could. And I was advocating for myself, but I had parents that would start asking me questions, and so I was helping them too. And Joni would meet me and be like, I need somebody like you in my area. And I'd be like, Joni, I'm busy. I had a full-time job, plus I was doing this. No, you know, I just really need somebody. And about the 3rd or 4th time we met at a conference, I remember you saying, you don't understand, I'm going to pay you to do what you're already doing. I said, I'm in, sign me up. And so Joni basically wrote the grant for the reason why pervasive parenting is what we are, that we got the CPRC grant, and that is in large part thanks to Joni Bruce, who said, in October 2016, the Pervasive Parenting Center received money from the U.S. Department of Education, Office of Special Education Programs, to become a community parent resource center. There are only 23 in the U.S. and one in Oklahoma, ours, which is located in Poto. This grant has opened the doors for us to advocate for more than 400 families and assist more than 1,000 parents, professionals, and educators in the past 4 years. Some of the programs we have developed over the years have included a social group for young adults transitioning from school into a job, post-secondary education, or technical school. With this, we have partnered with many of the partners' grads and presenters, including Jen Randall with the Youth Leadership Forum and Joni Bruce of the Oklahoma Family Network. We have worked with local schools as well as the Cherokee and Choctaw Nations to create peer mentoring programs to help develop a better understanding of disabilities and reduce bullying. When I realized that in our area, in order to be screened for autism, you had to either be Native American or be under the age of 3, I knew that many children were falling through the cracks. Then I remembered meeting Jeannie Chambers with what is now the Oklahoma Autism Center. Along with Seth Kastner and other staff members, we received the training to provide free screenings to children in our 4-county area. To date, we have provided almost 100 screenings in our area. Perhaps one of the most significant skills I learned from partners is the ability to advocate for my family and others at the Capitol. In the past few years, I have worked alongside legislators on matters related to disabilities, as well as advocating during teacher walkout and other issues that affect my family and others in my area. This is something I wouldn't have seen myself doing prior to the work with the PIPS program. It has given me not only the tools to advocate at the state level, but the confidence to speak with politicians at Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. as well. Many of my philosophies and advocacy have come from the partner speakers and mentors. Al Condalucci taught me the importance of community in the life of anyone, but especially those with disabilities. Patrick Schwartz reminded me that anyone can be an important member of society given the proper supports and services. And Kathy Snow showed me that disabilities truly are natural. Joni Bruce showed me that you must pay it forward. You have to help others. This is not a competition, and the network of people that you develop will become a family if you just nurture your relationships. If you learn one thing from partners, I think it's the importance of networking. You have to speak up. Pull those people aside and get to know them. They are parents, advocates, self-advocates, and people, just like you. Everything I've done has been because of who I met along the way. Because of the things I learned in partners, I've been blessed to become an award-winning advocate, but these accolades belong to my wife and mentors as much as they do me. It doesn't matter where you're from. As long as you have the passion and persistence, you can make a difference in the lives of families around you.